We're at the 39th annual CAPCA conference at the Chemtura booth, and I'm talking with Darren Allred about some best management practices for keeping honeybees healthy. What can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, in recent years, we've had a lot of news about the effect of pesticides on bees, and so we wanted to really focus on Chemtura's commitment to providing efficacious crop protection products while protecting pollinators. And so we had a meeting earlier yesterday on best management practices for protecting pollinators. And during this discussion, we came up with a lot of good ideas to help protect honeybees in orchards, because we know that protecting crops hasn't always been compatible with protecting pollinators. So the first thing we wanted to talk about was basic integrated pest management in almonds to protect pollinators. And then we wanted to talk about other aspects of timing of applications. If you do need to spray during honeybee activity in the orchard, to spray late afternoon, evening, or at night when the pollinators are done for the day and when they are safely back in the hive. And also, we wanted to talk about timing our applications of Dimlin at 12 to 16 ounces fluid ounces per acre earlier in the dormant season rather than closer to bloom, and we still get outstanding control of peach twig borer at those earlier applications when those pesticides would not affect the honeybees.
So it sounds like you have some really good tips for growers and PCAs on how to really protect those pollinators.
Right, Sabrina. We feel that if used according to label instructions and these best management practices, that Dimlin will provide outstanding control of peach twig borer while having no effect on bees.
And I understand that you have a study going on now in Australia, and I want to bring in Enzo for this. And Enzo, can you first introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Enzo Casagrande. I'm the Global Technical Manager for Chemtura, especially in insecticides, fungicides and acaricides. And we've been carrying out this study in Australia. As Darren has been saying, we're concerned to minimise the effect on bees at any time during the year, particularly during the bloom time. And there's a received wisdom that it's safe to apply some products towards the end of the day and the evenings when there's not much bee activity in the orchard. We want to generate further data to make sure that we are clear exactly what the levels of risk are at any particular time of the day when using products. So we're carrying out a study in Australia. It's being done in Australia because it's in the off-season to California. It's 6 months out of phase with California. So this is sort of a prequel study that we're doing down there to get some initial data for further work that we will do in the coming year. So we're trying to determine the levels of residues of any product applied at the bloom time, timing the sprays during the during the actual daylight hours when the bees are active, timing the other sprays in the evenings when bees have stopped working, and timing another spray in the morning before the bees become active, and then doing an analysis of the pollen in the orchard from each of these different treatments to determine what levels of residues has actually got onto the pollen itself, and that will determine, to what extent there's insecticide being taken back to the hive and causing potential harm or potential risk to the bees themselves. That work is ongoing now. The results of that study will not be known until probably the end of November, and we intend to communicate that as soon as we get the information, but unfortunately it's too early now to say exactly what the results are.
But certainly that will help in future years to come, and very soon, in fact.
Absolutely. The intention is to use that information as the base level of information for the work that we will do in California, where we plan to expand upon that knowledge and to use it to further develop our advisory to growers and make sure that the use of products like ours are used in the most in the safest, most effective way, but also minimising any potential risk that there could be for any other insects like bees in the orchards.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.